Hey guys, my name is Jonathan Reich. I'm going to tell you a little bit about myself before I tell you a little bit about the video that we're going to talk about today. I live in Louisiana. Louisiana is very flat. There are actually some spots in the state that are below sea level. For any of you who are familiar with New Orleans, Hurricane Katrina, the fact that it's a bowl filled up with water, not always great. And so there are no mountains here. The tallest mountain we've got is like a hill. It's like 300 feet. It's Mount Bristol. Look it up. It's like almost comical how short it is. And so part of that is because we have no hilly terrain, we have no snowboard shops. We also significantly lack skateboard shops. And so continuing on about myself, I went to school here in Louisiana. And that's where I learned to ride a skateboard because I didn't want to have to try and find parking on a campus. Think about it. You got like 15,000 college students being crammed into like 4 square miles. There's nowhere for you to park your car. And so I didn't want to ride a bike because I had buddies who had had their bikes stolen, even if they were locked up. And a bike can be a bit of a hassle just trying to get around campus. So I gravitated towards using a skateboard to get to class because I lived off campus and I didn't want to drive. And it was like kind of long walk. And I had a buddy teach me how to ride a skateboard. And so I used that skateboard with skateboard to class, pick it up, carry it into the classroom, prop it up against the wall. Nobody ever stole it. Life was good. So I learned to skateboard in college. And because I learned to skateboard in college, whenever my family would go skiing once or twice a year, and typically Angel Fire, New Mexico, it's a very nice place to go skiing, kind of like beginner friendly. Um, I naturally gravitated towards wanting to try and snowboard. My whole family skis, nobody snowboards, and I would just see these people like zipping past me down the mountain, and I was like, "Dang, that looks really fun." And so I got a snowboard rental while I was there in Angel Fire, the first or second time I was there, and I just like fell in love with it. It's just so much more fun than skiing and snowboarding is. It is also, in my opinion, a little bit more dangerous if you catch that front edge and go flying down the mountain, but that's neither here nor there. That's just a skill issue, not a snowboard issue. So all of this comes around to the fact that there are no snowboard shops in Louisiana, and so I'm stuck having to use online retailers. There's just no local shops. If there is a local shop to you and you're watching this video, I always encourage anybody who's like pursuing a hobby to shop local, support the people in your community who support that hobby, support the business owner. But I just don't have that luxury. And so I've done a lot of research. I bought a board a couple of years ago. I'm getting ready to buy another one. It's November of 2025. We're looking at going skiing in January or February. So I'm trying to catch a sale before winter really starts. And so that got me looking at all these different online retailers. And I kind of wanted to give you guys a rundown because I've spent a lot of time looking at these because to buy a snowboard is a couple $100 on the cheap end and then can be thousands on the high end. So like I spent a lot of anxiety and a lot of time reviewing the different um, online retailers out there, and I think I've kind of narrowed down to what I think the best ones are going to be. So the first one is Tactics. What do they sell? They sell everything you need to snowboard. They sell boards, boots, bindings. They sell jackets, outerwear, accessories. They're really focused on like rider run type products. From what I've read on Reddit and kind of looked at, I haven't placed an order with them yet, but I do think they are going to be the ones that I use. Shipping is free within the continental US on orders that are $99 or more. And like, if you've bought anything related to going down a mountain, you know that $99 is like pocket change. It's like warm up money. And so it's not hard to spend $99 and get that free shipping. One thing I really did like is they have a 60-day no hassle return on items that are in sellable condition. So like you don't have to worry about like if you didn't love it, you can just send it back. Now obviously don't spend like 59 days barreling down the mountain and try and return it. You may find that that may be a little bit more difficult to return. But most items have that 60-day no hassle guarantee. I did see some like grip decks might be a little bit more difficult to return all sales final. So check into that if you're not sure you actually want that product. Prices are very competitive. They'll match any price, like if it's a one for one, if it's not knockoff or something like that. Um, for authorized U.S. retailers, so like don't expect them to price match your buddy Billy who's selling you the board for $100. But if you're getting it from a name brand location, they will beat or exceed that price, which I really like. That means they stand behind their products in their store. And most importantly to me, I don't think I have it open on the link, but if you go to down here, where is it? It's not under contact us. They actually have local stores in Portland, uh, Eugene, Seattle, and a couple other spots over there in the Northwest. And that kind of ties back into support local and make sure you're buying from like legitimate retailers. Gosh, I wish I had that web page up right now. I think it's actually hiding right here underneath. Yeah, right here, shop locations. And so you can, if you're within that actual geographic area, you can stop in and go get like a rental, check your bindings, check to make sure that you actually like the way it fits, and actually go check it out. They also have a shop in Japan, which kind of surprises me. Anyway, so that's tactics. Overall, I think I'm gonna buy my board from there. Pretty happy with them. But let's talk about some of the other ones that I looked at just in case like you're like, I don't want to use them. The next one is backcountry.com. They sell pretty much the same lineup as tactics. You're gonna find that their boards are gonna be a little different. They're gonna have different carriers, but they're also going to have free standard shipping on orders that are $69 or more, so a little bit more competitive than Tactics. And then returns are going to be 90 days on unused items, but only 30 days on used items for stored credit, which is kind of a big deal because if you try something out and you're like, this really isn't for me, well, you better be okay with getting something else from Backcountry because you're going to get store credit instead of a hassle-free return. So that was a big turnoff for me between Backcountry and Tactics. Price match, it'll be pretty much similar to Tactics. They're going to make sure that it is a legit retailer, and then they're going to be able to outcompete you. But typically, what I found is most of these retailers are selling based on MSRP. So, that's just kind of a strike in either or's favor. It's not. It doesn't really mean a ton. So, one thing I did read about Backcountry is uh, they have like really, really good expert support. If you call them up, they're going to be able to walk you through like the pros and cons of like maybe a certain model or something. And they're going to have pretty set operating hours for their customer support. So you shouldn't have any problems like getting hold of someone if you have an issue with your order or you're unsure about something. The next one I want to talk about is Evo. So once again, all these online retailers are pretty much going to sell the same thing, but some of them might have a wider pool. So they also do skateboards, they do wakeboards. So they're going to have most of those snowboard goods, outerwears, accessories, but they're not, in my opinion, they don't have as deep of a lineup as like a specialized snowboard shop like Tactics would, or Outdoors. So, and these are in no particular order, by the way. So, they do offer other things. They have the free shipping on orders of $50 or more. You get a 1 year return on most unused items, which I thought was really competitive. Now, I'm not sure what it is on used items, so do your due diligence. I didn't dive deep enough into it to be able to tell you guys that. They will beat a price by 5% if you can find somebody who's selling the same product from an authorized retailer, which I thought was pretty neat. But I just like those are some really good strikes in the favor of Evo, but just I felt like their lineup wasn't as deep for snowboards, and so that's why I would still lean towards one of the first two that we've already covered. And then they have multiple U.S. locations. So once again, if you're local, stop in, give them a shout, and make sure that you're supporting those local businesses. So the next one I want to talk about is snowboards.com. And this one's kind of funny to me because I was like, no way, this is real. Like someone actually has the domain to snowboards.com. It's like pizza.com or computers.com, but it's real. I did my research, did some Googling, did some Reddit research, and found that they sell exactly what their URL implies. That's going to be accessories, boots. They got things for kids. They got jackets. They carry a lot of different brands, but it's just e-commerce. So free shipping on orders of $50 or more. Full refund within 45 days if new and unused. And a 15% restock fee, which I wasn't like really super excited about. And so that's why I'm like, there are better options out there. Um, but returns are not accepted after 90 days, and then you will have to pay the return shipping. So once again, I'm pretty picky. I want to make sure that whatever vendor I'm using is going to be able to take back the product that I'm willing to send them because like I mean, it's an online retailer. I can't just stop in and go try something on. I have to make sure I'm happy with it, especially if I'm going to spend like $1,000 on it. So these return policies are super important. They have pretty consistent customer service hours, 8:30 to 4:30 Monday through Friday, and they will match some qualifying prices, but there's a lot of like fine print with this retailer, so they're out there. They're okay. I am not gonna like stand by them, but I wouldn't have an issue recommending them if you are still watching and are considering some of these retailers. The next one that I want to talk about is actually the house. And so they sell snowboards, but they also sell other stuff like hiking and camping, which I thought was great. Skateboards, which is something that like I might actually could use here around town. I've already got 3 longboards and a penny board, so I don't think I need any more skateboards. Um, they have free shipping on orders over $99. They have a 90-day return window. And then this I thought was really great. So this is why I'm kind of giving them a shout out. They will actually, if you buy a board for like $100 and then it goes on sale like a week later for like $80, they'll send you the difference. Now there's only a 14-day window on that, but they will send you the difference if the board that you bought just goes on sale or has a lower price, which I thought was really neat. Um, but everything I've read about this retailer, they're supposed to have a very, very diverse amount of offerings. And then you can purchase just about any manufacturer that you think you would be interested in. And like they do have pretty deep discounts. And so I would definitely recommend them. It's just one of the more like well-known online retailers for snowboards out there. So give them a shout. And then the last one I want to talk about is REI. And so they're a co-op with just tons and tons of different activities for sale. So camping, climbing, cycling, snowboarding, travel. You've got men, women, kids, like all that stuff. It's all available out there. Free shipping for orders over $60. And then they stand by their products, which is something that I really admire. Most items you get a 100% guarantee for a year. Um, if you're a member and you're signed up with them and you have an account, 90 days if it's been used or you don't have an account. But they don't offer competitor price matching. And so that sets them apart from everybody else on this list. But they do something similar to the house where they do have that price adjustment within 14 days. So overall, lots of different retailers to choose from. I really like Tactics and I really like Tactics and I really like Backcountry.com. Those first two, I think you would be fine to order from anybody that we've covered today. Those two are just my personal picks because I feel like they stand by their services. They have local shops, they have expert support, they have really competitive free shipping, returns, like just some of those things I care about because I'm not local. Like, and I need to make sure that somebody's going to stand by their product. I can give them a call and say, "Hey, I didn't like the way it fit." They send me a return label. Done. Let's try again. And so, if you guys are interested in using an online retailer because you're like me, I would definitely recommend Tactics and Backcountry, but any of these should fit your needs. So, hope this saves you some time. Best of luck, guys, and thanks for watching.